Cindy Bertram here, and thanks for joining me today. Actually, this evening on Good Ship Happens. And yes, I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Okay, it's a good way to celebrate with family and friends and see people may haven't seen before. And yes, it was kind of fun too because I got a chance to see my great niece. Okay, she's 3 months old. Got a chance to see her finally. She's so cute, adorable. Okay, I mean, sorry, but she's so cute. Good to see her too. So it was really fun too. And then my great nephew was there too, and it was so fun. And of course, my family cook a lot. Okay, and of course, you have to have turkey and mashed potatoes and things. But we're big dessert people too. I mean, desserts come first. Okay, how fun! But that's what I do on cruise ships too. They have great desserts too. But anyway, I hope everyone have fun on Thanksgiving Day. And also, what I did too is I love watching the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Day Parade. I love it. I mean, it's so amazing what they do. I just glued to the TV for 3 hours, but it's so fun because what happened too is yesterday, I mean, doing some breaks in between, but also Han America actually had a float in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade yesterday, as did Disney Cruise Line, which is great too. And what they did was they did their Magic Meets the Sea. It was a float that featured new signature song, okay. Also, a Disney Destiny theme performance, and Disney Destiny is our new ship, which just was christened too. It's great too. So, yes, that was great to watch too. And then Holland America Line, Alaska themed float, starred multi-platinum singer songwriter Jewel, Alaska native, who actually performed her hit "You're Meant for Me" during a television broadcast, of course, during the Macy's Herald Square's flagship area too. It was great too. So once again, how fun, because the Disney float, of course, carried Captain Mickey Mouse, Captain Minnie Mouse, and a crew of their valiant friends, which is great too, including some villains like Cruella de Vil. Oh well, and then Millicent, and then Dr. I think it's Felicier. Anyway, but they did a performance with choreographer staff too, which is great too, and set the tune of "This Is Your Destiny," which was written for heroes and villains themed Disney Destiny. Disney Destiny was just christened a couple weeks ago. That was really fun too. So yes, I did watch the end of the parade, which is great too. But with Holland America, it was really fun too, because what they do is they actually did an Alaskan theme float, and actually it was their first appearance actually in the parade. Okay, and they depicted in their float. They depicted Alaska's glaciers, the wildlife, and also Denali National Park, which is gorgeous. And they showcased the line's global fresh fish program too. And it's just really fun too, because once again, I just love watching the Macy's Day Parade, which is great too. And it's just a fun way to kind of really get into the vibe of good things, and then you go celebrate Thanksgiving, whether it's a dinner or late lunch, whatever. But it's really fun too. I watched the parade like crazy. I love it. So it was really fun too. And also, as far as another special parade coming up too, we've got coming up um, next year, of course, is another cruise line is going to have a special float there too. That was with Princess Cruises, okay, and that's going to be coming up. Who's that parade? The Rose Bowl Parade. Yeah, that's coming up. I think in January this next year, come months away. But with Princess Cruises, they have a rendition of their new ship that's going to be in the parade too, which is great too. So it's really fun too. Also, we've had a lot of good ships coming out too. One I did mention last week's episode was actually American Cruise Line. Okay, they christened their American Pioneer. Guess where they christened it? Key West. If you've never been there, Key West is such a gorgeous area. It's beautiful. And what they did was their newest cruise ship in the country, the American Pioneer, was actually christened in Key West on Monday, November 10th. Okay, and the American Pioneer is their 21st ship in the American Cruise Line's fleet, and her inaugural cruise followed the company's new 16-day Great Grand Florida Coast and Keys itinerary, which explores the Atlantic and Gulf coasts of Florida. And it was great because what they did was American Pioneer, that's the name ship, of course, Pioneer, American Pioneer, was actually docked at Mallory Square for their christening activities, and Key West is a regular 2-day stop on their new itinerary and offers 20 different shore excursions, including a visit to the Dry Tortugas National Park. But Key West is gorgeous. Been there several times at different cruise lines a long time ago, but it's a great place to actually dock, beautiful areas to shop and see different things too. And what they did was their christening celebration included cruise guests, local partners, and community members too. And all attendees actually gathered at the ship's top deck for the official christening and ceremonial bottle smash, following a reception by the in the cruise ship's Sky Lounge. And Charles B. Robertson is the president CEO of American Cruise Lines, gave remarks, as did American Pioneer's godmother. Her name is pronounced Doncididi Henrique. She's actually the mayor of Key West too, so she was the godmother. Okay, and the American Pioneer is actually the second new American cruise line ship that Mayor Henrique is actually godmother to. Also, they christened their American Legend in February 2025, and she christened that ship too. So it's really great too because Charles Robertson, the president CEO of American Cruise Lines, a great person. He said we're thrilled to christen another ship in Key West, and also we are especially honored to be joined by American Pioneer's godmother, Mayor Henrique, and with many of our other cruise guests too. And with the brand new American Pioneer, she accommodates just 130 guests. Yes, just 130 guests. Every stateroom has a suite, private balcony. The ship features multiple lounges and dining options. And also with American Cruise Lines, they've got 9 additional ships currently under construction. Yes, 9 additional ships under construction now. That's really fantastic too. It just makes me smile. This is really great too. They do wonderful things. And 4 of these ships are actually sister ships to the American Pioneer. Okay, which means sister ship, that's a similar ship too. So anyway, they got 4 new ships that are going to be sister ships to the American Pioneer, plus, of course, 5 other ships too under construction right now too. But just how wonderful. And also, something else about with the American Pioneer, her inaugural 16-day Grand Florida Coast and Keys cruise began in Amelia Island, Florida, on October 31st. What a great way to celebrate Halloween, right? And concluded at St. Petersburg, Florida on November 15th. And American has 3 ships sailing. They're exclusive all domestic Florida cruises through April of 2026, including their popular 9-day Florida Gulf Coast and Keys cruises, which operate round trip from St. Petersburg. But that's really fun, isn't it? Because once again, there's so many different options out there. People say, okay, what's the best cruise? But the point is, there's so many options out there now more than ever. You got choices. I mean, where do you want to go? What do you want to see? The size of the ship. What's included? But just, like I said, some people don't like big ships, okay? But this is another example of really, really fantastic cruise line. American Cruise Lines, they're still family owned, which is great. And they also have a sister company who actually builds their own ships too. But they've been around for a long time, very successful. This is really exciting because once again, if people want to go to Florida and sail around the area, it's so beautiful too. I mean, it's relaxing too, just in case. But just keep it in mind because once again, also with American Cruise Lines, they do offer different ships that also will sail on the rivers too. Okay? And so keep that in mind too, because it's really great to see new ships coming out. It really excites me too. And something else that is good too is also, one thing I told you I mentioned I was actually in Port of Galveston on November 7th in the morning of the 8th, because they just opened it up for Embassy Cruises. Embassy Cruises actually built a brand new port in Port of Galveston. I was there for the ribbon cutting ceremony on the morning of November 7th. Then we got on board the ship. I was on the ship before when she's christened, but it was beautiful to be back on the ship too. Plus, once again, they did kind of a fun Texas twist, They didn't sell cowboy hats. Of course, we couldn't buy anything. Of course, ship was still in dock. You can't buy anything. But anyway, as I mentioned, some people, I think they need to sell cowboy hats on the ship because I think if they had sold them, I would have bought one, okay? But It was great to see the ship again. I was on their christening event in 2022. She's gorgeous. They've had a new entertainment too, plus some really fun Texas twists too. And also, I was there for the ribbon cutting at that new port they built. It's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, just amazing. I've never been there before, but their port there is gorgeous, brand new, really tropical ambience, which I love. But also, I knew Norwegian Cruise Line is going to sail some ships out of there too. But once again, too, is when I think about where cruise ships sail from. I mean, years ago when the cruise industry first started in the U.S., it was more out of Port Miami. Okay, that's really kind of like the thread of where cruising first started years and years ago, 50-some years ago. But then they started adding some ships that sailed out of Port Everglades and Fort Lauderdale. Another was actually Port Canaveral, which is about an hour away from Orlando. And then, of course, Alaska's been kind of a down area as far as going Alaskan cruises, which is a shorter season because the weather gets too cold. But with Alaska cruises, they usually start in May, go through November, first part of November. And originally, you'd sail out of Alaska, and they started doing options out of sailing out of Seattle, and that's grown like crazy, which is great too. But also, Tampa is another place that cruise lines now sail from, including, of course, Galveston. Okay, New York is another option too. San Juan, Puerto Rico is gorgeous too, other places too. And of course, we've got river cruising sailing out of different places in Europe, also in Egypt, and other places too. But once again, Carnival Cruise Line, they've been sailing out of Galveston for 25 years now. In case you didn't know that, 25 years. What they did was they announced last week that they announced a change in 2027 and 2028 for the deployment plan. And Carnival Sunshine is going to home port in Galveston, Texas, instead of the Carnival Spirit. And the Carnival Spirit is going to be actually home porting in Tampa, which is great too. And the Carnival Sunshine actually accommodates 3,000 guests. So she's going to be bringing a little bit more capacity to Galveston to support really the market's growing demand for cruising. And then, of course, with the Carnival, there's a variety of different new Caribbean itineraries too. And as far as this move, Christine Duffy, the president of Carnival Cruise Line, mentioned we're excited to introduce Carnival Sunshine to Galveston for the first time, and the Spirit to Tampa. And she says this move really allows us to really serve more guests in Galveston, where we can really continue to see strong demand and introduce new, longer Caribbean itineraries for our guests sailing from Tampa too. So as far as the Carnival Sunshine's arrival, Carnival's going to maintain their 4-ship plan in Galveston, offering a wide range of 4 to 10-day Caribbean sailings beginning November 20th of 2027. Shorter cruises will be visiting Mexico, including calls to Cozumel and Progreso. Longer sailings will actually reach out to about a selection of different places, including Cozumel, Belize, Celebration Key, that's their private island, which they just opened, which is beautiful. Also, Relax Away, Half Moon Cay, Grand Turk, Amber Cove, Dominican Republic. They've got Costa Rica, Colón in Panama. Also, and then let's see, Isla Tropical and Roatan, which is Honduras. Also, the Grand Cayman Islands, and Montego Bay, Jamaica. Also, Carnival Sunshine is going to open 8 new sailings. This includes a special 10-day itinerary, and that's going to visit Cozumel, Isle Tropical, Montego Bay, also Grand Cayman, and the Carnival Spirit is going to offer 6, 7, and 8-day itineraries, home porting from Tampa, visiting popular Caribbean destinations including Belize, Isla Tropical and Grand Cayman, as well as Ocho Rios, Jamaica, Cozumel and Progreso, Mexico. And then also Carnival Spirit will offer 6 8-day itineraries too, which is great too. So once again, a lot of options there too, and they've got more sailings coming up too. That's really kind of fun too. But I'll tell you what, going and sailing, seeing Port Galveston, where Carnival actually docks in Port Galveston is a different port, okay? But the brand new port that MSC Cruises built with the people down in Galveston is gorgeous. It's beautiful, got a tropical feel too, and definitely, once again, just very relaxing too, because once again, with Galveston, it's actually a private little island too. So definitely keep it in mind, because once again, it was so great to finally see Galveston. Never been there before, and just that really kind of ambience too, which is really, really great. So keep it in mind too. Definitely keep in mind. It's a beautiful area too, and it was so nice to actually get the ribbon cutting for that new port, and now the Seascape is sailing there right now from Port of Galveston too, which is gorgeous too. I just loved it. So beautiful. Just amazing what they've done too. And once again, it's just great to be on the ship again too. And something else that came up too, I want to mention too, is we've got mentioned with the Oceania Cruises, they had just launched their new ship recently, but they're doing too is now they've got their newest luxury cruise line, the Oceania Sonata, is going to be coming out in debut in 2027. Okay, and this will be the first of their four 1,390 guest ships, which is their Sonata class. That's a new class of ships, and it's the next chapter of Oceania Cruises' continued evolution in their intimate luxury ships too. As far as the Oceania Sonata, it's actually the 9th vessel in the Oceania Cruises fleet, which is great. She's going to embark on her maiden voyages in August of 2027. And as far as design, she's going to deliver really a symphony of just unforgettable experiences too for guests, anchoring the brand's passion for gastronomy, great cuisine, food, which is great too, and also their legend of really finding the finest cuisine at sea too. And I know they got spaces, light-filled spaces that really inspire celebration with enclaves too, which is designed for relaxation too. And I know that the Oceania Sonata is going to really resonate with the most discerning travelers too. And it's really been designed to really create ambience that really is uplifting and indulgent too, and also just really capturing that really essence of refined seagoing luxury too. And also, they mentioned that on board the new vessel coming out in 2027, 30% of all accommodations on board will be suites. 30% will be suites, which is great. If you've never been on a suite on board a cruise ship, it's just an amazing experience, and you don't want to leave, okay? I mean, it's gorgeous. It's wonderful. That's really fun, too. And it's going to have, like I said, they mentioned that they're going to actually debut 2 brand new suite categories, and then their reimagined owner suites too, which is great too. So it's really great too, because once again, with guest accommodations, they really connect with the ever-changing seascapes and landscapes, which is great too. And every stateroom has a private and spacious veranda too, which is great too. And guests can look forward to really many different dining venues too, and public spaces, which are really, really synonymous with Oceania Cruises too, including the elegant grand dining room, as well as their specialty dining venues too. This includes Jacques, which is a sophisticated French restaurant. They've got their Pan Asian Red Ginger, the Polo Grill Steakhouse, and Toscana, which serves Italian specialties. And Oceania Sonata will actually feature 10 best-in-class culinary experiences. 10 best-in-class culinary experiences, too. I mean, you get so spoiled when you eat on a cruise ship, too, but just the culinary experiences are just wonderful. And another good example, of course, is Oceania Cruises, too. It's just really what they're doing, too. It's really fun, too, with their new ship, the Sonata. And she's currently under construction, okay, being constructed at Fincantieri. And it's an Italian shipyard. It's actually built the Oceania Marina, the Oceania Riviera, the Oceania Vista, and the Oceania Lura, which just came out. Also, the Oceania Sonata is going to sail on her first sailing in August of 2027. got some time to get things together too, to actually book it. Looks beautiful too. And also as mentioned, she is 85,000 gross registered tons, and the ship will just accommodate 1,390 guests, okay? And she's going to be staffed by, get this, 855 officers and crew, which is great too. So once again, with Oceania Cruises, they're really a leading culinary and destination focused luxury cruise line. They've got 8 luxury ships right now, and a maximum of 1,250 guests, and really known for their fine cuisine, which is great too. And as mentioned, the Oceania Cruises is adding a new class of ships, the Sonata Class 2. The first one will be delivered in 2027, and then the next one 2029. Then the third Oceania Cruises Sonata Class will be delivered in 2032, and the fourth one will be in 2035. So once again, it's great to share good things about new ships and luxury cruise line experiences too, because it's really, really wonderful what they do too. And keep in mind too, because it's really great too. So yes, another ship that's coming out too is actually Scenic Group. Okay, Scenic Group has been around for a while, and they do some beautiful things. Written about them before, but they've got their new discovery yacht called the Scenic Icon. Okay, and that's going to be joining their Scenic Discovery Class fleet in April of 2028, and it's their Scenic Discovery Yacht, which is their Scenic Icon. Okay, an icon is spelled I-K-O-N, icon, and it's all veranda suites. As far as the size of the ship too, it just is. It's 2,600 gross registered tons, and it just carries 270 guests. That's it. Okay, and passengers are all accommodated in 135 all veranda suites on their 5 decks. There are going to be 15 different dining venues on board with expansive lounges, 2-level rejuvenation census suite, census spa, and also I know that Scenic Shipyard is being built right now in the company shipyard in Croatia, and is designed to actually excel both polar regions, also warm weather destinations too. So with the Scenic Icon coming out in 2020, let's see here, 2029. Actually, it's going to be doing her debut Venice thing in 2028, and then she's being built, in their company shipyard in Croatia, and also, as mentioned, she's been designed to really have both polar regions as well as the warm weather destinations too. She's actually got, and when you go into colder waters, they really take very care of the ship itself too. So in this case, she's going to have an Ice Class 1A super strengthened hull and carry 2 Airbus helicopters, a custom-built submersible Scenic Neptune 3, and also Fosmar tenders. But how fun is that? And that's coming out later on, a couple years. And the Scenic Icon has actually been conceived and actually energy built by their shipyard division within MKM Yachts too, which is great, and it's really great too, because once again, it sounds wonderful too. So definitely keep in mind too, because once again, she'll be sailing in the Mediterranean as well as to the wilds of the Antarctica too, and that's why she's been specially designed to really deliver those different experiences too, because once again, with the wilds of Antarctica, the ship's being built to have it separate, the extra protection hull too, which is great too. So once again, keep in mind, like I said, the Scenic Icon, which is Scenic Group's newest discovery yacht, will be actually starting her inaugural season in Venice in April 2028. Then her maiden season actually extends through March of 2029. She'll include going to 110 different ports in 21 different countries, which sounds just phenomenal, doesn't it? Including 26 new destinations covering the Mediterranean, Aegean, Egypt, Cape Verde Islands, the Car Antarctica, and the Falkland Islands, also the Chilean fjords too. So once again, if you're looking for something really, really kind of, it's called their Discovery Yacht too. It looks really phenomenal, doesn't it? Just keep in mind too, because there's just wonderful things to do too. So many options really out there. Something else just came up too was actually with MSC Cruises. Okay, MSC Group owns actually Embassy Cruises. Okay, and they've been around for now in the U.S. Well, actually been around for over 30 years now. Really great cruise line, family owned. The family is actually based in Europe, but they also started their Mediterranean shipping company a long time ago too. That's like at the foot in the door too. They started Embassy Cruises, and then what they did too was then they launched Explorer Journeys, or luxury cruise line, a couple years ago. Beautiful. Also, they got their foundation. What they did was with their foundation, they have been working on different ways to really restore the ocean. Really phenomenal too. What they did too is with cruise lines, a lot of them have private islands. Okay, and the thing is with MSC Cruises, they didn't have any. What they did was with the MSC Group, they negotiated a deal to actually lease an island in the Bahamas from the Bahamian government back around 2016 or 17, and they leased an island for 100 years for $100 million. And the reason that MSC Cruises wanted to get MSC Group wanted to get in there because it was really a great way to kind of bring some different kinds of ambience for their guests to with their own private island. But the thing is, when they actually leased that island, it had been a former manufacturing plant, and the people on that manufacturing plant left. MSC had actually towed away 1,500 tons of scrap metal. The sea life was dead. The trees were dead. Everything was just horrible, bad shape. But they spent over $400 million on that island. I've been there a couple of times. It was just there, and of course, on the christening of MSC World America back in April. But it's wonderful. But they got the MSC Foundation, and when I was there in April, they did the open of their Ocean Conservation Center too, which is great too. They're building coral reef trees there too, which is great too, because restoring the ocean is very important. But what they did too is, with the MSC Foundation, they strengthened a partnership with the University of the Bahamas. Yes. And what they're doing is they've got their new small island sustainability research complex laboratory brings the University of Bahamas students into the field with the MSC Foundation by Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve, which is great. So these students that are studying at the University of Bahamas, they have they're getting practical experience in coral reef conservation, also marine monitoring activities at their foundation's Marine Conservation Center, which is at Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve. It's beautiful, and just wonderful that they're actually partnering with the University of Bahamas too, because once again, the island actually is in the Bahamas. But wonderful things that they're doing too. MSC Foundations, of course, have really done some beautiful things with their conservation center. It's at Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve. And with MSC Cruises, their ships actually dock there, which is great. They dock right there. It's beautiful. I'm going back there in April myself on the christening of the MSC World America christening cruise. It was so great to go back there, because actually there when they christened the other ship in 2021. But it's amazing to go back there, because what they've done, when I was there in 2021 on the christening of the new ship there, they did a sand cutting for their Ocean Conservation Center. And when I was there in April, we actually sailed out the evening of April 9th and got on their island, which is very close, the morning of April 10th. And they did a ribbon cutting for their Ocean Conservation Center too. It was really beautiful to see that in place now too, and to see them building coral reef trees to restore the ocean. It's just one of the amazing things they're doing too. So I think it's just wonderful that they're doing good things like that too. So definitely keep in mind too, because once again, the island is close to the Port Miami, but also what's great too is what they do is sometimes when cruise lines go to their own private islands, they leave about 5-6 o'clock. But in this case with MSC Cruises, also Explorer Journeys docks there too. What they do is they stay longer. Okay, they don't leave at like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. They stay really late, next morning. I mean, they lay maybe about 2 o'clock in the morning because it's very close to Miami. But also, what's great too is they do a white party on the island. All right, you wear white, you get off the ship, you're right there. They do music, but it's a white island party, which is really, really beautiful too. So once again, keep in mind, because I'll tell you what, I love that island and what they're doing as far as sustainability is just wonderful. And like I said, the cruise industry really works hard to do that too, even as far as how they're operating their ships with liquefied natural gas. And they want to be, their goal is to be net zero emissions by 2050. And cruise lines are really, really pushing hard on that too. So that's really great too. Because another good example of Good Ship Happens, because this is a wonderful what they're doing too. I love it. I love it. I'll go back there too. It's so beautiful, you know. But keep in mind too. And also, I mean, one thing I bring up too is we know that Jamaica got hit pretty hard with Hurricane Melissa. That was really such a bad, bad, bad situation. Okay, I mean, but what's great too is cruise lines are joining them like crazy. Because once again, they've got ships that actually dock there. Okay, they've donated money. I know Royal Caribbean is donating money. Carnival Corporation is donating money too. But once again, too, what's really great too is Royal Caribbean just had a ship sail there to Jamaica with supplies. Their Rhapsody of the Seas sailed to Jamaica on November 4th, and they delivered over 120 pallets of supplies. And Michael Bailey, who is the president and CEO of Royal Caribbean International, the vessel actually docked at Falmouth on a relief call too. And this is really marking the return of cruise ships to the port following Hurricane Melissa. And Rhapsody of the Seas actually offloaded pallets of supplies, including water, bedding, medical supplies, and food items. And Michael Bailey said, a huge thank you to the Falmouth Port Authority and the community for really opening the port in a social media update too. And he noted that all the items will be packed as relief packages for immediate distribution with the help of Royal Caribbean's relief partner, GEM. And the Rhapsody of the Seas is actually currently offering a 6-night repositioning cruise in the winter season, sailing from Tampa. And then after departing from Puerto Rico, the original itinerary included visits to Puerto Plata and the Dominican Republic, the Grand Cayman, and Cayman Islands, also Falmouth, Jamaica. And once again, it was just a relief call, which is great too. So once again, they're doing that, which is really, really wonderful. And I know that other cruise lines have actually donated money too. But this is really wonderful that they actually were dropping off supplies too. And as far as the Port of Falmouth, I actually got a chance to be there. Beautiful. I've got a very, very dear industry friend, who's Charlie, who actually helped design that port. It's beautiful. It's a little further out, but the ship's docked right there. It was beautiful when I was there a couple of years ago. But like I said, that didn't get impacted as much by the hurricane, so it's a great place for cruise ships to actually return back to sailing to Falmouth, Jamaica. And once again, too, is they're really doing some great things to really, really donate money to, which is great too. Also, in addition to Royal Caribbean, Carnival Cruise Line also delivered supplies to Jamaica earlier that week too, with their Carnival Horizon. And the ship, Carnival Horizon, actually docked at Ocho Rios, and they offloaded bottled water, baby food, and diapers, also canned goods, and cereal, hygiene products, other supplies too. And other companies, of course, under the Carnival Corporation, like Holland American Line and also Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, have made donations also to their relief funds too, which is great too. So keep in mind too, because once again, cruise lines are donating money like crazy. They're dropping off supplies, which is great too. And Falmouth wasn't really hit that bad, which is great. I've been there; it's a beautiful place to go to. But once again, they really do ways to help give back to communities that really need it too. Because once again, hurricanes hit, but what they do is they really work hard to make sure that if those islands have been impacted, they work on different ways to really, really help out more than ever. It's just wonderful what they're doing too. As mentioned, of course, we just had a lot of new ships that came out, of course, which is great. Celeb Excel just came out, and of course with Celeb Excel, that's spelled XCEL, that just came out. She was just christened, of course, and another ship came out with Star of the Seas. That was actually, I'm sorry, That came out actually in August, okay? It's a Royal Caribbean new ship. That's got the Chief Dog Officer, Sailor, yes. Also, as mentioned, World America was on a christening cruise in April, which is great too. And of course, with Oceania Cruises, the Oceania Allure just came out, which is great. And also, another one actually was the Norwegian Aqua, which came out in March of this year. Disney Destiny just came out. Of course, she was in a float with the Macy's Day Parade, which is great too. Also, Star Princess just came out in October. That's what was actually christened by Matthew McConaughey and his wife, which is great too. And Celebrity Excel is actually christened on November 18th. Okay. Also, we've got another recent one was in September. Brilliant Lane at Virgin Voyages' new ship, Brilliant Lane, was just christened. And then, of course, we've got Disney Destiny, which was christened too, and also coming up as far as ships coming out in 2026. Once again, there's so many coming out, which is great too. So, it's really great too. And as far as new ships, of course, coming out 2026, we've got Four Seasons 1 coming out, I think, in March this year. And then Windstar Cruises has their ship, the Star Seeker, coming out, I think, they're still having the Aurora sailing, I think, on December 28th, okay? It's going to be a 17-day transatlantic Malaga to Miami. And then we got the Emerald Kai, which is actually Emerald Cruise Line ship that's coming out in April 26th, too. And then Norwegian Cruise Line, their next ship is the Norwegian Luna. That's coming out in April next year. And also we've got Royal Caribbean, their new ship, Legend Sea, is going to debut actually right now, I think July of 2026, okay? And with Royal Caribbean, they haven't mentioned yet if Legend of Sea is going to have another chief dog officer. I'm not sure. I'll keep you posted, though, because once again, how they came up with the idea for a chief dog officer is just amazing, too. I mean, we shared the video before, too, but it's great what they've done, too, because once again, people really love their dogs like their kids. They walk on 4 feet instead of 2, right? But anyway, with Legend of Seas, they haven't mentioned it yet, but they might have a chief dog officer. I'm not sure. Once again, though, Michael Bailey, when he's shared more in that video, has mentioned they came up with the idea, and people like their dogs as kids. Plus, also, what's great, too, is in addition to the guests on board really, really loving to see Chief Dog Officer Sailor and Rover, okay? Also, their crew members love it, too. I mean, it's a good way for the crew members to really embrace dogs because they miss their own dogs, too, which is really great, too. So, once again, I know that with Legend of Seas, she's coming out in July next year. She's going to be sailing on the summertime Mediterranean. Then she's going to be followed by a year-round Western and Southern Caribbean cruises, too. And then we've got, let's see, the Star Explorer. That's going to actually debut in December 2026. Guest capacity could be just 224 guests. And we've got another new cruise ship coming out too with MC Cruises. The World of Asia is going to come out in 2026. They haven't mentioned yet as far as when she's going to debut yet. And something else we've got is, Regent Seven Seas. Their Seven Seas Prestige is going to come out in 2026 too. Their guest capacity is going to be 850 guests. And Regent Seven Seas is a very luxury cruise line too. Also, we've got, with the American Cruise Lines, I mentioned these cruises in the new ship, but what happened was American Cruise Lines has 2 new ships coming out in 2026. They include the American Maverick and the American Ranger, too. And with American Cruise Lines, they built smaller ships. In these cases, these 2 ships will just have a max capacity of 125 guests, okay? Also, Explorer Journeys, their Explorer 3 is coming out in August this next year. Luxury cruise line that's bringing the ocean life to sea, but they will just accommodate 926 guests. And with their maiden seas, it will be Mediterranean, of course, then Northern Europe, then Greenland and Iceland and East Coast, and then also Korea too. And then coming up in 2027, of course, we've got the other Explorer Journeys ships coming out. We've got the Explorer 4, 5, and 6 coming out in 2027. And then we've got, of course, the Explorer 6 will be coming up in 2028, which is great too. And once again, was Explorer Journeys. Their luxury cruise lines owned by the Embassy Group. Guest capacity is just 926 guests too. And then of course with Norwegian Cruise Line, they got actually, they call them their premium class ships. Okay, so once again, cruise lines come up with different classes of ships. It's just how they actually share what they do too. It's just a class of ships, okay? And they've got their premium class ships. They've got their 5th and 6th premium class ships coming out in 2027, 2028. They haven't mentioned names yet, but they will later on too. And of course, the Carnival Cruise Line Carnival Festival is going to come out in 2027. And as mentioned, we've got the in Embassy Cruises, in addition to the Embassy World Asia coming out in 2026, the Embassy World Atlantic will become out in 2027. We've got, I know Disney's going to have another new ship coming out, their 4th Wish class ship coming out in 2027. And we've got the Carnival Tropical coming out in 2028, but a lot of good things coming out with different cruise lines too. And, this is great to really kind of share what cruise lines are doing as far as their growth, because once again, they come up with different classes of ships and offer different things on board, expand different things, and once again, there are so many options out there too. And like I said, the good thing too is even with the river cruise line over in Europe is beautiful. Waterways is one great example, because once again, if you want to see Europe, definitely think about doing a river cruise in Europe. But also with Waterways, in addition to offering their cruises on the European rivers, they offer cruises on in Egypt also. And some other areas include, they just launched their 2nd ship in South America. Okay, their 1st ship they launched earlier in the spring, and then that's on the going down in South America on the Columbia River, which is great too. It's just great, and they really embrace the atmosphere of going down there with their smaller ships, and they just launched their 2nd ship sailing in Colombia, which is great too, in South America. So definitely keep in mind, because once again, we've got more ships coming out. Options as far as where you want to cruise from. As mentioned, Alaska, you can take a ship, Alaskan cruise out of Seattle if you want to, okay? It doesn't have to be Vancouver. Vancouver is beautiful. When I did my Alaskan cruise, I did do it out of Vancouver, but it was beautiful to do that too, and you got options like that, like crazy, which are really good too. But just so much fun to think about different things coming up as far as new ships too. And what they're doing too. Something else I mentioned, I think last week, was actually with Crystal Cruises. They actually are building their first new build cruise ship, and that's going to be coming out, I think the date, I'm not sure, they just announced they're actually building a new ship. Crystal Cruises is beautiful, and I had a chance to sail on Crystal Cruises back, it was probably like 2014. It was really beautiful to experience it too. Very luxury, and it's their first new build ship in 25 years. And what happened was Crystal Cruises actually was purchased by a big company. They went under, but Crystal Cruises got bought out by Abercrombie and Kent Travel Group. And what they're doing is they're doing a steel cutting ceremony. It takes place in May of 2026, and then the keel lading will be taking place in December 2026. And what's great too is it's their first new cruise ship they built in 25 years, which is great. So it really sounds fun. And they mentioned more about that too. And as far as the name of that ship, they're going to call it, the name of the ship is going to be called the Crystal Grace. Yes, Crystal Grace should be debuting in 2028. And as mentioned, that's their first ocean-built ship in 25 years. The first one under, of course, Abercrombie & Kent, which actually bought out Crystal Cruises. And it's going to be delivered in May 2028 from the Fincantieri shipyard. Crystal Grace is going to actually, I think, embark on a inaugural sailing on June 11, 2028, in a series of previous sailings too. And I like the name. It's really, really pretty too. So keep in mind, because once again, we've got different ships coming out like crazy, which is good too. And just fun to talk about new ships coming out, because once again, Great ideas as far as how good ship happens too. But I really like sharing good ideas too about what's going on in the cruise industry, and also I think what cruise lines are doing right now to help out people that are hit by the hurricanes in Jamaica is just a one good example of good ship happens because they really care, dropping off supplies, which is great, donating money. And it's all the different cruise lines doing this. It's not just one; they're all doing it to really help cruising come back in Jamaica and help the people that live there that have been hit so hard by the hurricane. I mean, and the thing is, cruise lines really care. It's a great example of what they do as far as good ship happens. But once again, just great things that are going on in the cruise industry right now too. And also, we got Christmas coming out, so definitely with Christmas cruises, people ask, okay, you need to book far out. Okay, definitely. Also, even but they're opening up different options for even next year, the year after. So definitely keep in mind too, because once again, you need to book further out if you want to be on special sailing on a holiday too, which is great too. I actually did a cruise myself a long time ago over Thanksgiving, and it was really fun. In my case, I didn't have to cook Thanksgiving dinner, right? Or bring things to my family's dinner, but it was great to actually be on a cruise ship for Thanksgiving because once again, it was just a great experience too, and you need to book things further out because those fill up pretty fast too. But great things going on in the industry too, and I'll show you more in my next episode. But I love what they're doing too. It's just great they're doing too. What they're doing as far as giving back too, and they really help out more than ever. I think that's wonderful to really share good things like that too, because once again, they donate money, they donate option supplies too. Even when that one hurricane hit so bad, it hit. Oh, I can't remember the name of that one. It was really, really sad too. It hit so bad, but they did was cruise lines actually stopped sailing their ships too. The islands got hit so bad. I know that St. Thomas is one. But they dropped off supplies, and this is another great example of dropping off supplies in. They can actually dock at Palmar, Jamaica, which is a beautiful port. It wasn't hit that bad, and they're really starting to sail now, different areas, including sailing from Palmar, Jamaica. It's a beautiful port too. So keep it in mind too, because once again, they give back, but also it really helps the people that actually were impacted by the hurricane so bad. Melissa just hit so bad. It was just so sad, but they're not stopping, and they give back like crazy, and we need that more than ever, because once again, they really care about where they go, and once again, yes, it's part of their income, but the point is they give back like crazy, which we need to share more than ever.
Hey there. Looks like you're ready to wrap it up so we can wrap up with the dog once again and
Yes, we
see how
can.
they do.
I still don't know if the new ship welcome is going to have a new dog officer or not. Okay, they haven't met, but I think they will. I mean,
Hopefully they will.
I'm sure they will. I mean, seriously,
I
I
was,
just think people love it like crazy, and I'll tell you what,
well, people
I've
love
been able to
dogs. They
share.
got animals in general. I was watching Tar Heel Traveler, which is a segment on one of our local newscasts, and they were talking about people that were traveling by RV. I think they had been to like 49 to 50 countries or something like that. They're from Spring Hope, North Carolina, and
Yeah.
they of course love North Carolina because that's home for them. And they also their second favorite state or other favorite state is Colorado and everything like that. But they are traveling when they are going with two cats, and the cats had bright eyes, and the cats were in the big RV. So I know that sometimes people travel with cats, and they of course been
Right.
cat officers as well. But it was just funny watching that segment earlier today on the news by like Mom's house and seeing those cats, particularly one cat that had bright green eyes and was hiding in the bedroom because yeah, trailers, those RVs have bedrooms too, and they were hiding underneath the bedroom and everything like that.
Oh, how funny! How funny! I mean, we talk to dogs. Okay, I'm sorry. We talk to
Yep.
dogs. I talk to my puppy niece when I go see her,
Yes.
Miss Zoe. Yeah,
Yep.
I mean
And
they
I actually
listen.
was talking.
They
They
got a
do
sixth
listen.
sense. They
Yep.
know good people, bad people, and they got the guard dog sense too. Really, really. But the thing is, you talk to them like they're kids, but the thing is, they are like kids. Okay, I mean, right now it's getting really cold here. Okay,
Mhm.
my neighbor behind me has a dog. He adopted him, Max, and when it gets fall, he puts a jacket on the dog.
Oh yeah. I was actually just with one of my neighbors. Anna has a dog. I'm trying to remember the dog's name and everything. It's not coming to me. It's like a big collie type dog. and everything like that. And then in addition to that, my brother had his two dogs that he brought to mom's house with my two nephews. So Walter and Indy traveled with us and everything like that. And the one is a very small dog, like about a poodle size, and the other is a Grand Pyrenees, so it's a very big dog. But watching them two interact was quite funny.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. So you end up with the chief dog officers.
Yep. Cool. Well, we'll wrap up the show with the cute dog officers. Ready to get out of here. We'll see you at the regular scheduled time on next week and everything.
Yes.
So, yeah, let's right now. Let's get on out of here.
Great. Thank you.
No problem.
As we're designing the best family vacation, there was one piece that was missing, which is, of course, the family dogs. And when guests go on vacation, one of the key things that they miss are their pets back home. And when our crew are sailing on board for their contracts, one of the things they miss are their pets back at home. And so we really wanted to make sure we brought a fluffy addition to our crew family. We went and got Rover, and here we are now for Star. We're picking up Sailor, and Sailor will be living on Star of the Seas.
Well, the Chief Dog Officer was an idea that we created actually when we were developing and concepting the ultimate family townhouse. We were all sitting around saying, when you think about the ultimate family townhouse, what does that mean? And all these ideas came around, and somebody threw out the idea of having a family dog. And we said, well, it feels a little selfish to have a family dog for just one family. Why don't we have a family dog for the family on board the ship? And so that's how the position evolved. And we thought, well, obviously it's a very important position. And of course, all important positions on ships are called chief. So we thought Chief Dog Officer is perfect.
When we first came up with the idea for Project Rover or Project Sailor, we realized we don't really know a lot about what it means to take care of a dog on a cruise ship. And so we partnered with some of the most well-respected animal well-being certifiers globally to really help us create this program from the ground up and make sure that when Rover and Sailor are on board, they're having the best day every day.
So there's a very well-written, crafted position description that, of course, the Chief Dog Officer can't read. The key mission is to have fun, and that's exactly what Rover and Sailor do. They just have fun.
So Sailor is very small. She's about 16 weeks. And so when Sailor gets on board, she's going to, take everyone's breath away. Sailor's life on Star will be full of adventure. She and her Chief Dog Officer role really means that she gets to go and explore the ship, go and explore our private destinations with our crew members, really just being that warm, welcoming family for her.
Oh, I just totally fell in love with Sailor. I fell in love with Rover as well, but I also fell in love with Sailor. She's so beautiful and loving and funny, and so I just completely fell in love. When we were thinking about the idea, one of the questions was, well, what will the crew think? Will the crew like the idea or not? And so one of the team members had a golden retriever and volunteered to bring the golden retriever down to one of our ships on a turnaround day, and we fitted the dog with a GoPro camera. It was very touching because after when we watched the video, so many crew stopped and hugged the dog and talked to the dog. When we saw that, we thought, wow, this is amazing. People miss their own family dogs.
And as we've done with Rover, as we're doing with Sailor, we really want to make sure we're focused on what's best for these animals. And really right now our focus is on Sailor and making sure that she is having the best life at sea when she gets on Star of the Seas in August.